the importance of people participation as world leaders debate how to protect the interests of future generations. Prime Minister Motley addressed the closing ceremony of the United Nations Summit of the Future Action Days held at UN headquarters over the weekend.
This world can change, but it needs our energy, our commitment. And in the same way, in electoral matters, we go out and find other people to help us proselytize and canvass. We must now go out and find ordinary citizens who are prepared to say that they're not wishing to be pawns anymore of others. If we doubted the power of the people, we only need to see where that power has made significant changes, even in this year that we live in.
Barbados opposition Democratic Labour Party, DLP, is recommending the tightening of maritime security to help stem the entry of illegal guns. DLP spokeswoman on legal affairs, Paula Di Pisa, says a gun amnesty will not work. Instead, she says government needs to hire port security personnel with intact integrity, scan all shipping containers, and monitor all ports and areas being used by privately owned boats.
We constantly speak of our airport and our seaport without taking any reference of Port St. Charles, Port Ferdinand, fishing boats landing, pleasure boats docked within our waters, the incapacity of the Coast Guard to respond. How and when are we going to start using technology such as drones in order to manage our borders better?
Jamaican healthcare workers in the United States are being urged to return home to work as several hospitals are being built and others upgraded across the island. Foreign Affairs Minister Camilla Johnson-Smith issued a call to the Jamaican diaspora in New York. She highlighted that one of the projects is a children's hospital that will benefit the Caribbean.
We're building hospitals and expanding hospitals and renovating hospitals. Cornwall Regional Hospital, it's being expanded now. And right beside it is going to be the Western Children's Regional Hospital, which will be the quintessential state-of-the-art hospital for the whole of CARICOM for the care of children and adolescents. But I've mentioned this not only because it's an important achievement, is that we're going to need specialist nurses, we're going to need more doctors. And while we're expanding, we want you to also think about what's happening in Jamaica so you can think about coming home as well.
Eastern Caribbean netballers are in St. Lucia this week for their annual ECCB International Netball Series. Anguilla, Antigua Barbuda, Cayman Islands, Dominica, Grenada, Montserrat, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and host St. Lucia are the participating countries. Sports commentator Rez Pereira was at yesterday's opening.
Well, the opening ceremony of the OECS Netball Championship 2024 was held last night, sponsored by the ECCB, who has been historically the sponsor. All the teams, very impressively dressed, were on parade. And the minister, in addressing the audience on behalf of the Netball Association, said something very encouraging, that the facility in Castries, which of course is open air, will be covered in the coming months. And this will not only help netball, but boxing, volleyball, and basketball. The defending champions this year will be Grenada, and I think it will be interesting to see if they can hold on to their title.
This has been the morning edition from the Caribbean News Desk. You may contact us by phone or WhatsApp at +592 700 9293. Thanks for listening.
At Bloombox, we now carry and are fully stocked in granola fertilizers. Urea 46%, great for leafy green 15-15-15, great for all vegetables or young fruit trees 20-20-20, best for foliar spray and seedings and small vegetables 12-12-17, great for tree crops or flowering vegetables and fruits 12-24-12, root crop fertilizer like dasheen and white potato 12-4-28, great for tree crops or flowering vegetables and fruits, red potash for fruit trees and vegetables. All the fertilizers you need are available at Bloombox, located on Federation Drive, Goodwill, second property on the right after the Valley Link Road. Your one-stop shop for everything that grows. Let's bloom together.
The hurricane season is upon us. Stock up on essential supplies before the storm hits. That means water, canned food, medications, and a battery-powered radio to stay informed.
From the cradle to the grave, you don't want to be no slave. You need a loan, you want to stay. One for my visitors today. With a commitment to quality. Therefore you and me was one big family, but now is the community. Making life easy, yes, like a baby. No matter who you are, you can benefit. When you bring your mortgage
with rates as low as 5% and loans for all your needs.
Open an MRA,
save for your golden years and take advantage of our savings product.
We will finance your business.
Checking accounts, small business loans, wire transfers, and so much more.
NCCU all the way.
Wow! Your community financial partner.
NCCU.
This is Asa Banton, your Tropical Water Ambassador, with your hurricane tip for today. Assemble disaster supplies. Enough food and water for each person for at least 1 week. Stock up on all medication needed. Gas up your vehicle and hold extra cash on hand. Radios, batteries, and phone chargers are essential. Be prepared and remember to stock up on Tropical water.
We are in the hurricane season. Don't forget to secure your home, board up windows, reinforce garage doors, and trim trees to prevent damage from flying debris.
Want to stay ahead in the world of electronic communications? Then you've got to check out Electoral, a production of the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority. We dive into the hottest topics affecting the telecom sector, from the latest innovations to the policies shaping your digital future. Tune in to Electoral on the last 3 Thursdays of this month, September 12th, 19th, and 26th. In the digital world, knowledge is your greatest asset.
Get ready to experience the ultimate celebration of culture and beauty. On Sunday, September 29th, Madame Wabduyet Canada presents the annual Madame Wabduyet pageant at St. Peter and Paul Banquet Hall, 231 Milner Avenue in Scarborough, Ontario. It's going to be an afternoon of elegance, celebration, heritage, and vibrant traditions. Hosted by Paula Leighton Loblack, Camille Andrew Dewhurst, and Akua Delfish, with music by the one and only Levi Super L. Loblack, DJ Super. This event is the one that you don't want to miss. So mark your calendars. 2 p.m. Sunday, September the 29th at St. Peter and Paul Banquet Hall, 231 Milner Avenue, Scarborough, Ontario. Early bird tickets are on sale now for just $75 and $85 at the door. Children under 12, only $35, and your ticket includes dinner. For more info, contact Lorraine Delsall at 905-683-6806. Glenora at 647-262-9944, and Vanessa at 780-691-5795. It's going to be a day of fashion, music, and culture like never before. Come and experience Dominica and all it has to offer. We can't wait to see you there. Be sure to follow Madame Wabduyet Canada by going to madamewabduyetcanada.com.
Tune in every morning for The Hot Seat on Q95, the latest happening event, breaking stories, and behind-the-scenes in-depth investigative reports. Stay locked for more fair and balanced talk on The Hot Seat on Q95, the big station, Q95, 95.
Welcome to Government in 5. I am Deondra Smith. In this week's top stories, the road rehabilitation project has begun in the south of the island with the goal of improving transportation links, enhancing safety, and boosting economic growth. 10.4 kilometers of road stretching from Lubia to Grand Bay will be reconstructed in the first phase of the Lubia to Bagatelle Road and Bridges Rehabilitation Project, with grant funding from the United Kingdom government and additional financing from the government of Dominica. Addressing the groundbreaking ceremony on Friday, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit emphasized the government's commitment to advancing sustainable infrastructure projects and creating economic opportunities.
Roads mean a better life for every Dominican. It is said, if you want development, build roads. And so we are building, not just here, but across the entire island. The West Coast Road, the Layu Road, the nearly completed East Coast Road. These are the lifelines of our nation. They are the foundation stones upon which we are building a stronger Dominica, brick by brick, mile by mile. You recall it was said that people cannot eat concrete because of the massive investments the government was making in road construction. We did so because we understand the importance of roads to one's economic development and prosperity, and we remain committed to this objective.
Minister for Public Works, Public Utilities and Digital Economy, Honorable Fidel Grant, said government is steadfast in its mission to build resilient infrastructure to address the impacts of climate change.
Phase 1 of the Lubia to Bagatelle Road will comprise of 10 kilometers of road rehabilitation, the construction of 5 bridges, slope stabilization intervention, improved drainage, road widening, and road realignment. The total cost of this project is $116 million Eastern Caribbean dollars. The two contractors selected for this project, Stotrodom and Offshore Civil and Marine, Inc. The supervising consultant, McDonald UK Limited.
The geothermal energy project in the Rosa Valley has reached another significant milestone. Earlier this month, the Dominica Geothermal Development Company signed a US $38.9 million EC $105 million agreement with Kalpataru Projects International Limited of India to build 10 kilometers of transmission lines and substations from Loda to Foncolé. Minister for Foreign Affairs, International Business, Trade and Energy, Honorable Dr. Vince Henderson, says a local company has also been contracted to prepare the site at Loda for construction to begin on the power plant.
We're very excited about that milestone because it means that the company has started mobilizing, and very shortly we will see actual action on the ground so that construction can begin within the next several weeks. Work is also ongoing for the construction of the power plant in Loda, and D-Treads, a local company, has been awarded the contract for the site preparation. We expect that by October to December of this year, most of the equipment for the power plant will arrive on island, and by early next year, we can see construction beginning in earnest for the first 10 megawatt geothermal power plant.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy is expanding the coconut subsector with a distribution of 13,000 Brazilian dwarf coconut seeds to commercial farmers, enabling the cultivation of up to 230 acres. According to Permanent Secretary Ryan Anselm, this initiative is part of broader efforts to develop the tree crop sector with an emphasis on the 5 C's: citrus, cocoa, coffee, cannabis, and coconuts.
The minimum that we're looking at, farmers will get an acre to establish an acre, which means 40 to 50 plants. Our strategy is that we going to target commercial farmers. And the reason is that we want to expand the industry. This is the first phase. We're talking about 13,000. Our intention is to bring in around 75,000 to 100,000 coconut plants. What is important about the introduction of this variety is that we're going to have some nurseries. So we're going to use this coconut to have some germplasm. And in the next 2 to 3 years, it will cease our importation. We'll have these plants that we can have in our industry and we can distribute to the farmers.
This has been Government in 5. Join the festivities this Saturday at the official opening of Independence Parade. It will be full of culture and vibe as we launch celebrations of Dominica's 46th anniversary of independence under the theme Peinu Kadunu, Our Country, Our Gift. And tune in next Monday for Government in 5.
Tune in every morning for The Hot Seat on Q95. The latest happening events, breaking stories, and behind-the-scenes in-depth investigative reports. Stay locked for more fair and balanced talk on The Hot Seat on Q95, the big station.
It's already 8:33 in the morning. A big question this morning being posed to the Prime Minister of Dominica based on what we're hearing. PM, were you caught in telling some lies there on the weekend? That's a question being asked this morning. We had an interview that I want to share with Dominica, and then we'll analyze what was said there compared to what was said there in Dominica. 4493095. Let's listen to this interview done by the Prime Minister of Dominica in St. Lucia. Listen.
Welcome, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, let's see if we can get that back there. Just hold on there. Hold on. Trying to get something rectified there. Let's go back to that point there. Yes.
When you became Prime Minister, I know in Dominica you all call it the CBI, Citizenship by Investment, and we call it the CIP, Citizen Investment Program, but they are one and the same. When you became Prime Minister, was that program already in place?
Yes, the program was in place. It was introduced by the Dominica Freedom Party, and then the United Coast Party, when it came in 1995, they re-engineered it. So when I became Prime Minister, it was already in existence.
How well was it doing when you became Prime Minister?
Well, it wasn't doing well at all. And I'll just say that it came in March of 1993. So it was introduced in March of 1993. Mm-hmm. When we came into government, there was absolutely no sign of where the proceeds of the CBI would have gone to. The only known project at the time was a very controversial one called the Lai River Project. Of course, subsequently, there were some hotels that were given some funds, some properties were given some funds from the citizenship program. But insofar as government spending, there was no reporting to the parliament. No one could tell you or show you any project, anything in Dominica that was financed by the Citizenship by Investment Program prior to me becoming Prime Minister.
Very well. So would it be correct to say that before you became Prime Minister, that the accountability and transparency that was necessary to oversee the spending of those funds was absent?
It's completely absent. I mean, you will hear people asking questions now in Dominica because the reality is the impact of the CBI program in Dominica is pervasive. It is throughout the length and breadth of Dominica. So it has attracted a lot of attention. The opposition in Dominica believes that if they can get rid of the CBI program, then this government will fall because the government won't have access to the resources that it currently has to continue to improve the lives and livelihoods of Dominican people. But in terms of transparency and accountability, that was non-existent. Dominicans could not tell you anything with regards to how these monies were being spent by the government of Dominica at the time.
Seemingly have a commonality or a common thread going through the oppositions in Dominica and St. Lucia because they're trying desperately to ensure that they derail the CIP program because of the resources that it makes available to assist the government in discharging the social duties to the people of this country. Tell me, Mr. Prime Minister, under your tenure, how many, in fact, from the time it was introduced until now, but because there was no transparency and accountability, you might not be in a position to tell us. But between the introduction and now, how many passports would you say have been issued by Dominica through that program?
Well, through the program from 1993 to now, we may be speaking maybe about 48,000, 49,000 thereabout. Obviously, you have one applicant of dependents.
Yes.
In that application. But in terms of applications, you're talking about 48 to 9,000 applications, you know.
And that is over a period of almost what? Almost 30 years.
30 years, yeah.
Good. They have accused this administration of selling 56,000 passports in less than 3 years. Now, in terms of housing and infrastructure, Mr. Prime Minister, could you tell us what the program has done? I'll give you time in housing and in infrastructure. Infrastructure, let it cover hospitals, bridges, health centers, whatever. But can you give us a brief synopsis of the benefit of the program to the Dominican populace?
Just to say to you, Honorable Frederick, when I became Prime Minister, I took a deliberate decision that we were not going to rely on the proceeds from the CBI for our recurrent expenditure. And we designated all of the funds from the CBI to public infrastructure and also paying down our more expensive loans. So we were using the funds for two purposes: payment of high interest loans and public infrastructure. And if you come to Dominica, I mean, the impact of the CBI program, it is really unprecedented in its execution. You're talking about major highways, talking about bridges, you're talking about health centers, talking about regional health centers, you're talking about hospital, you're talking about schools, you're talking about a marina that we're now building, talking about several hotels that have been completed and are underway, under construction. You're talking now that we're building an international airport. And we build an international airport, and this should be the only country in the world who would have built an international airport and not have any debt associated with it for future generations to pay. And housing, the impact on housing is just amazing. So far from 2005, 2006, you're talking about maybe about 3,000 homes that have been constructed by this government to the benefit of the people of Dominica. Now, that is outside of the funds that we use to respond to Erica, to Maria, through the COVID-19 pandemic, where we provided funds to repair homes and hit roofs for so many of our families and who lost the roofs as a result of Hurricane Maria. We invest in agriculture, we invest in manufacturing, small business development has received significant funds by way of grants and very low interest loans. You're talking about 2% and 3% interest loans to small businesses across Dominica. And we continue to provide support in a number of those areas to the benefit of the Dominican people.
Oh, wow. I didn't hear that properly, Did you say, Mr. Prime Minister, that, well, I know the airport has started. I know it has started. I saw the excavation. I saw work being done there. Did you say that the airport would be totally completed without any liability attached to the funding of that airport? Did you say that?
Certainly, there'll be no liability attached to this. We are funding it exclusively with proceeds from the CBI program. Work is well on its way. We are about 4% ahead of schedule, notwithstanding the rains that we've had. And we're pushing along and just continue to keep our fingers crossed and look to the heavens to ensure that this project comes to a successful completion. And it's amazing. And also said to you, Honorable Frederick, one of the things I want to share with your listeners too. Prior to Hurricane Maria, we were saving for two reasons. One, we were saving, we had an International Airport Development Fund, so the plan was to save money for the construction of International Airport. And at the time of Maria, we had in excess of $260 or so $1 million in the account. Had it not been for Maria, we would have had enough money in the banks to build the airport in cash. And then we're doing a second thing. We were saving, and I never said so to people until several we were saving from CBI into a special account in our national bank to pay for national debt. And had it not been for Hurricane Maria, we would have raised enough money to pay off everything in the world we are owing as a country. And we would have been the first developing country in the world to have a 0% debt to GDP ratio.
Wow.
Yeah, zero.
Wow.
And then and my plan was the monies that we were paying for loans and interest payments, we would create a special fund and we would continue to pay into that fund as if we were still paying loans.
Yes.
And then use that money now to help grow the economy, address the issue of poverty, and social dislocation, which will always exist in our societies. And so this is what we are doing with the CBI program, because the reality is, like everything else, we recognize that it may not necessarily be with us forever. And so we are preparing ourselves to win ourselves out of the CBI. If that were to happen, God forbid, at some point in time, you understand? And this is what we want to managing the affairs of this CBI program. And as I said to you, prior to becoming Prime Minister, there were no reports to Parliament, and it was never in the estimates of revenues. It was never recognized as a special source of funds for capital projects and programs. If you go to our budget estimate, you will see where it is written Citizenship by Investment Program. It tells you how much we project to raise in the current financial year, and in the reporting previous year, tells you how much we have to raise. And if you go into the capital estimate, you will see where it will say source of funding, CBI. You understand? And this is what it is. And we are not opposed to any legitimate scrutiny, any legitimate questions and concerns that any citizen or resident may have. What we are opposed to, and we almost condemn as countries who have the CBI program, is to condemn those who are knowingly maliciously behind the opportunities that our countries have to help our citizens. And it is unfair that people will go the lengths and partner with people who have no interest in the welfare of any one of our citizens to seek to undermine the program. And this is unfair, and I think this must not be viewed from a political standpoint. This is our region. These are our islands. We owe it to our children to ensure that we place the government in the best possible position to be able to provide. And I have heard reports that in St. Lucia, we are looking at housing from way of CBI. And I also heard that you can add infrastructure by the way of CBI to improve your roads on your road network. I am saying to you, if you have the opportunity, it's a wonderful way to go to address the housing challenge that all of us will have in this region. And so many citizens are seeking to a better quality home. And just to say to you, in Dominica, all of the homes that we have built, every single one of them has been given to the beneficiaries at no cost to them. They have paid no money, not one single dollar for this. Now, people have accused me and say, well, Scary spoiling the people. I'm naked. I don't believe so. I believe that, as a government, we have a duty and obligation to provide better housing for our citizens. I believe that we have a biblical and Christian duty to provide for the homeless, and we'll continue to do so. So I don't want to see it as a political responsibility because it's really not a political responsibility.
It's a moral
but I see it as a Christian and biblical responsibility that is really captured in the Gospel of Matthew.
Yes, very well, because you preempted me. Over 3,000 houses given away, an airport being built totally debt-free. I just wish some of those people, the naysayers, would understand the kind of economic impact that this program has on Dominica. One of the things I want to ask you, and you see again, it goes with the naysayers. When I advertised that you would be on, one of your critics said that how come you all have so much money and you all don't have a marina and an airport? I want you to repeat what you said about the airport and the marina. Let the naysayers listen, please, in 1 minute. Just
I will say to you that the marina has started.
Very well.
It is going to be a wonderful project. It's going to employ a significant number of people during construction and a significant number of Dominicans after it is constructed. I can tell you, the majority of Dominicans are excited about this project. With respect to the airport, works are ongoing. On site, as of tonight, we have 311 Dominicans employed in the project site. 311 Dominicans, born Dominicans, who are directly employed on the airport side. One can speak about the indirect number of employment during construction. But it works ongoing, and we can only continue to pray to the Lord that He will see this project through to completion, because this is the project, my view, and the view of many, that is going to help continue the transformation of Dominica and to bring the kind of prosperity that we envisage and to create a dynamic Dominica that we envision for our people.
Mr. Prime Minister. Mr. Prime Minister, I want to ask you a question, and I want you to explain to our listeners and the wider audience who will down the road listen to this interview. Have you ever been, no, I should preface that by saying, I was listening to a guy called Philip Martinez, who said that he knows Dominica has been threatened with a withdrawal of corresponding banking. Is that true?
Well, I'm not aware of this. I don't think there's any truth to this. There's no truth to this. I can tell you, and also say to you, Mr. Frederick, I've been Prime Minister for 20 years, as you indicated. And for all of those 20 years, and Prime Minister Dr. Ken Anthony could tell you so. Unfortunately, Honorable Compton is deceased, but Honorable King could tell you, Honorable Shashne could tell you, Honorable Pierre could tell you. I have to all of his prime ministers. And all of those times, we've had to battle with the developed countries in respect to correspondent banking and the whole de-risking that they have been engaging in. This has been a mantra of the Caribbean for many years. And for anyone to link correspondent banking to CBI exclusively is really not being honest with the people of the Caribbean. And so there's no threat. I believe what is being done by some, I see in social media and others, our own citizens. What they're seeking to do is to hope that some injury caused to the program and some injury caused to our banks, and hoping that we would not have a corresponding bank. But let me say to St. Lucians, let me say to Dominicans, let me say to all the Caribbean people, that if we allow these people to continue on this crusade that they are going on, with the sole intention of seeking to undermine our country and our government's ability to provide to us, if what these guys are doing, they were to succeed, we have to understand that every single person in our countries will be dramatically affected by this. So don't believe that it's governments going to be affected. The opposition elements believe that if something were to go wrong in Dominica, only Skerrit would be impacted. Every single citizen will be impacted. And so the issue of threats to withdraw correspondent banking, there's no evidence of this. I have not been told so. I've been in touch with our banks here. No one has said to me that is the case. They continue to maintain very productive and responsible and ethical relationships with the corresponding banks, and they will continue to do so under the overall umbrella of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. And so it is really unfair what they're doing. It is really sad what some people are seeking to do to undermine our countries, and it is wrong, and we all must stand in defense of our patrimony.
I agree with you more. In fact, up to today, up to this morning, whilst preparing for this show, I saw a threat. Well, a guy out of America is trying to lure St. Lucians into joining Martinez in a lawsuit. Martinez filed a RICO lawsuit. It is not against the state. St. Lucia, the state of St. Lucia has nothing to do with it. He has not sued the Attorney General or the government of St. Lucia. He has sued individuals and companies. But he's asking St. Lucians to come on board. And if they do, each of them will get 100,000 US. What do you think of this kind of scare tactic, or to lure people with promises of unjust enrichment if they do something that will not affect the country at all? What do you think of this?
I think it's unfair. I mean, it's a classic demonstration of disrespect and disregard for the intelligence of St. Lucians and our Caribbean people. To promise somebody something that you know you can't deliver, and want you to get into to really engage in all the streets against your country, to benefit from. It tells you to the extent which these people go to seek to destroy our countries, and I believe that intelligent people, sensible people, patriotic people, people who love your country, love our countries, and people who have so much to lose in our countries must stand. We cannot be silent bystanders and allow these people to manifestly seek to undermine our countries. And I mean, this is really a declaration of war. And when it's a declaration of war, we have to, I'm telling us to use, in the real sense, our arms, but we have to stand and be counted in the defense of our country. And it's unfortunate that people are remaining silent on this and but it is really mind-boggling.
Now, Mr. Prime Minister,
I don't know about St. Lucia, but certainly in Dominica, this opposition will never see the halls of government ever. Dominican people are very clear on that. They will never see the halls of government at all. Not in Dominica.
But what I want to ask you, Mr. Prime Minister, since I indicated that you would be on with me, there have been many scathing attacks, not necessarily on you, but questioning the integrity of the program, rather, in relation to transparency and accountability, although you've addressed it. But I want to ask you this. What do you want to say to the Dominican people, even your opponents, people of the region, the people of the wider world, that either may be Dominican or may have an interest in obtaining citizenship through that program, to allay affairs that Dominica is in perfect hands?
Well, I can say to you that we continue to run the affairs of the program and the affairs of the country in a very transparent way. We can stand the test of scrutiny from anybody, as we've done. We continue to work with our international and regional partners. We have an MOA among ourselves, and we've agreed on certain principles that we can do certain things jointly within the countries with the program. We have worked with the Americans, and particularly the U.S. Treasury. There was the 6 points that we jointly agreed to implement, and we've been implementing those. We continue to work with the European Union and others to address any concerns that they may have, or they may believe that our programs may pose. And so we're very open to engaging anybody, our citizens, our non-citizens, our international partners, our regional partners, on what they believe we can do to continue to enhance our program. But I believe that our programs in the region are being managed transparently. We aspire to have a robust due diligence process, and to ensure that the integrity of our programs are maintained. And I think that when you listen to things that have been said about the program, it's really just political mischief. There's really, really political mischief, and it is all about seeking to undermine the ability of the government to provide for our citizens. And so I can say to you without any fear of contradiction, we are running a very transparent program. We can account for the money. They are in the projects on the ground in Dominica. The reporting to the parliament is very clear. And we will continue to be as transparent as the word transparent can be, and accountable as the word accountable can be. And so it's really political mischief. It's really sad that what these guys are doing to our people and to our country. And I tell people, if it was just me they were attacking, it's okay. I can deal with that. I've been doing that for 20 years. But when they're attacking the very fabric of our society, they're attacking the opportunities that the vulnerable are getting to leave them how they are, the working class we have raised to the middle class, and ensuring that people can earn decent pay and they can get decent jobs, or we can continue to send our children to universities to educate themselves, irrespective of their families' economic and social circumstance. They're seeking to take this from people. And that's not politics. That was never politics. Never politics. And I think but insofar as the program, we're very transparent, we're very accountable, and you can see where the funds have been spent before CBI program. And those who want to engage themselves in political mischief, if that suits them, if that makes them sleep better at night, then they can continue.
Dominica, you heard the past 25 minutes, Dominica. You come to your own conclusion. Here's more. Stick around, Dominica. This is the hot set. This is the hot set.
Tune in every morning for The Hot Seat on Q95. The latest happening events, breaking stories, and behind-the-scenes in-depth investigative reports. Stay locked for more fair and balanced talk on The Hot Seat on Q95, the big station.
And the result for the best evaporated milk is in. Distinction evaporated milk is 100% pure milk. Distinction milk is a fantastic source of calcium, protein, and essential source of vitamins A and D and other nutrients. The great news is that Distinction milk has no added ingredients and no preservatives. Always fresh, always pure, always rich. Now available in 2 sizes, 170 grams and 410 grams. Distinction evaporated milk is perfect for the family to enjoy no matter how you choose to serve it. Distinction milk is always wholesome and always nutritious. For healthy bones and better immune system, choose Distinction evaporated milk. Distributed by Fine Foods and available island-wide.
The Dominica Institute of Customer Service invites you to the 2024 Service Excellence Conference and Awards. This premier event will spotlight the true stars of service across Dominica, with 6 individual categories and 13 business categories. 19 exceptional service professionals and organizations will be honored for their commitment to excellence. But this year, we're taking it up a notch. Alongside the awards, we are hosting an empowering conference, offering valuable insights and strategies to elevate service delivery to new heights. Plus, don't miss the grand unveiling of Dominica's first Customer Service Index, a groundbreaking initiative to measure and enhance service standards. Join us on October 5th at 7 p.m. at the Fortune Hotel for an unforgettable evening of inspiration, learning, and celebration. Nominations are open until September 30th. Don't miss this chance to recognize the service stars among us. See you there. Contact us at 440-8606 or 225-8606.
You an easy way to play.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
You're on your way.
Flow is keeping you connected.
At Bloombox, we now carry and are fully stocked in granola fertilizers. Urea 46%, great for leafy green 15-15-15, great for all vegetables or young fruit trees 20-20-20, best for foliar spray and seedings and small vegetables 12-12-17, great for tree crops or flowering vegetables and fruits 12-24-12, root crop fertilizer like dasheen and white potato 12-4-28, great for tree crops or flowering vegetables and fruits. Red potash for fruit trees and vegetables. All the fertilizers you need are available at Bloombox, located on Federation Drive, Goodwill, second property on the right after the Valley Link Road. Your one-stop shop for everything that grows. Let's bloom together.
Want to stay ahead in the world of electronic communication?
DJ Stone, just turns me on.
Some things were meant to be, so I'll let it be. Cause we know what's in our hearts, we know what in our thoughts. Hey, no reason for concern. No. We're gonna see a lot of things about us. Said you know that the love is not free. But you worry what the people say, and they see me with you. And wonder what the crowd will say, and they find us together. Wonder what the people say, and they know we're in love. Worry what the crowd will say. You have
Dominic prépare because of fête flavors of the world. Fête manger et de musique. Vini Ponti Goulatea. Septembre 29 en Stade Windsor Park. Pour un grand fête manger ou pour qu'on jamais expérience à la vie. Goûter latea sans quitter Dominique. Hot pays Chine, Lebanon, pays Indien, Venezuela, Cuba, avec un pile d'autres. Vini goûter manger Dominique même. Il y a une question pour tout le monde. Vini écouter son de Natasha Ruff, artiste Levin Giraud de Martinique, Marie Pascal de Cameroun, Tasha P, King Bob the Hunter, Daddy Chess, avec 10 fois Wakaiso Dominic King Dice, Kalin XP, Lily Octave, Ecstasy Band, Derek Rapitas, TK International, Ralph Conde Hot Tabo Combo. Jik ces enfants là qui est là, et qui ont pile amusement pour eux, pour ça mener toute famille. Septembre 29, des après-midi pour 10 heures soir, en Stade Windsor Park. C'est là pour que j'aille tout neuf, Dominic. Flavors of the World Food and Music Festival. Vini Ponti Goulatea.
If you know quality, then you must know the manufacturers of Dominica's finest rums. Belfast Estate Limited, over 80 years leading the industry with exceptional standards and formidable customer service. We present the manufacturers of BB Rum, Soca Rum, Red Cap Rum, Cask Rum, and the signature Belfast Estate Rum Punch. With island-wide distribution daily, Belfast Estate Limited has cemented its mark as the distributor of choice for products like Eldorado range of rums and creams, Kubali Bear, Corona Bear, Guinness, juices, Root Boy drink, and of course, Sunblast juices, Toughest Snacks, Vitamalt, and Pine Hill juices. Call the office at 440-7032 or visit the distribution outlet at Jimmy Dominica. Follow on Facebook or Instagram at Belfast Estate. Belfast Estate Limited, your leading manufacturer and distributor of rums in Dominica.
If you know your favorite store, dial it now. 612-1253. That's Mega Deals. You can rely on Mega for some real deals on name brand clothing and electronics. High quality, low price. We are a wholesale and retail store located in Calabishi, right on the main road. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram as Mega Deals Dominica. Like our page. Check out our stuff. Call us. Visit us. Would appreciate that. Come try it on. Love it. Buy it at Mega Deals. Your one and only online and brick and mortar store. Mega Deals is also on wheels. We make it convenient for your shopping. We deliver straight to your door. Email us at info@megadealsda.com. Rely on Mega Deals for some real deals.
Dominica Sipokol Alumni Association, in collaboration with Do It Center, presents White Sunset Epion Tikwayo. It's going to be an evening of style, culture, with live entertainment by Ecstasy, Kalin XP, Signal Band, and more. Vini. Come October 23rd, 2024 at the Gang Memorial, formerly known as Evergreen. Get your tickets online at Eventbrite or Dipex, Bullseye Pharmacy, and Oyo Construction. It's a #1 charity event during our independence celebration. It's White Sunset. Ebenukai Muchweyo.
All right, Dominic, it's 9:09 in the morning. I know you can't wait to hear more, huh? Wow, wow, wow. As somebody indicated, Matt, it's honestly disturbing listening to this. The man is an economic compulsive liar. Bro, when you listen to this, you'll swear Dominica is very progressive. Under the program, the truth is the country has regressed almost and cannot ever recover. Now, Mr. Lennox Linton, who is the president of the United Workers' Party, listened very attentively to what happened there on the weekend. Somebody else is saying, Matt, you have guts to play that way. You can believe it or not, he's your prime minister. You have to pay close attention. He's our prime minister. But the question remains, was he telling the truth to that St. Lucian audience? Listen to Mr. Lennox Linton at this time.
Dominica people, listen up. There's a he said, she said, who lie and who didn't lie propaganda story about Dominica's correspondent banking service flying back and forth between Roseau and Castries that we need to address. First of all, the National Bank of Dominica has one correspondent bank, the Bank of America. That relationship has not been suspended. It has not been terminated. But there are certain citizenship by investment, CBI accounts, and or transactions with NBD that have been effectively de-risked by the correspondent bank. The question of difficulties with moving CBI money to those accounts at the NBD was raised with Roosevelt Skerritt at a press conference in July 2024.
It appears that Dominic is having difficulty
moving money from the Citizen by Investment Program through international banks, just programs like the airport and housing, and other CBI-funded projects. How does government plan to resolve that situation?
Well, the bank has rules and everybody has to respect the rules. I do not believe that the bank is being unduly unreasonable. They have to deal with correspondent banks. And we have been working with the banks on this. The banks has indicated the process to follow and the documentation that they need and so on, which are very transparent. So there are times you will have challenges of some funds coming in. Because this is why we've been talking, for example, of the risking that's taking place in the globe.
So, with respect to CBI money coming from Anthony Hayden of MMCE, Dominica's main CBI agent responsible for all CBI funded infrastructure projects, there is a money transfer compliance issue which poses a threat to Dominica's correspondent banking service. Skerrit confirmed the problem in Roseau in July and assured Dominica that as head of government, he's working on resolving it.
We are addressing the issues. There's no need, there's no intention on our part to make shortcuts or anything. I think we have to address the issue as it is and to seek to find a solution to it. But I understand that it's a huge challenge. This is why you have many of the local contractors who haven't gotten monies yet. It's not that the money is not available. It is an ability or difficulty getting to them.
2 months later, in response to a different question, on the talk show of a St. Lucia government minister in Castries, he grabbed the opportunity to claim that there really is no issue with Dominica's correspondent banking service.
I was listening to a guy called Philip Martinez who said that he knows Dominica has been threatened with a withdrawal of correspondent banking. Is that true?
Well, I'm not aware of this. I don't think there's any truth to this. There's no truth to this. And also say to you, Mr. Frederick, the issue of threats to withdraw correspondent banking, there's no evidence of this. I have not been told so. I have been in touch with banks here. No one has said to me that is the case. They continue to maintain very productive and responsible and ethical relationships with the correspondent banks. And so it is really unfair what they're doing. It is really, really sad what some people are seeking to do to undermine our countries, and it is wrong.
More than 7 years ago, in February of 2017, the Royal Bank of Canada closed the CBI accounts of the government of Dominica and all CBI agents.
The operation of the Citizenship by Investment Program, the Honorable Minister informed this Honorable House as follows. The status of government's CBI account at the Royal Bank of Canada. If the account is no longer in operation, why was it closed? When was it closed? What was the balance at the date of closure? And where have those funds been banked since? Madam Speaker, the Royal Bank of Canada chose not to maintain a government account for the CBI as at February 28, 2017. Two, the Royal Bank of Canada did not state a specific reason for not being able to maintain the account. The balance of funds as at 20th February 2017 was EC 258,067,074 cents, and the funds have been lodged at the National Bank of Dominica.
First Caribbean International Bank and the Scotiabank in Dominica also closed the CBI accounts of government and or its CBI agents. NBD then became the only bank handling CBI money in Dominica. In recent years, a number of NBD correspondent banking relationships have been terminated. Societe Generale, Crown Agents, Lloyds Bank, TD Bank, Citibank. So you see, banks dealing with the risk of handling Dominica CBI money in the era of growing suspicion of corrupt, illicit activities undermining the integrity of the CBI is not new. With the billions from citizenship sales in the last decade that remain unaccounted for, and the ongoing entanglement of the program in international crimes, CBI money has become a major risk that correspondent banks will ordinarily want to avoid. That's all. Nothing to do with all those CBI actors playing victim and blaming political opponents as though they don't know exactly what they have done and are continuing to do to destroy the integrity of the scheme. They need to get their acts together, stop corrupting the CBI program and operating it as a criminal enterprise for the benefit of a chosen few, and all will be well.
9:18. There's a lot happening at the CBI, I can tell you, all across the Caribbean. I just learned on the weekend that St. Kitts Nevis launched an investigation into the CBI. St. Kitts Nevis, the DPP launches an investigation into the irregularities in the CBI program. The director of the Public Prosecutions Office, DPPO, announced Friday that it will be launching a formal investigation into the administration of citizenship by investment (CBI) program prior to the significant reforms implemented by the current federal administration. So, Dominica, we're going to open up the lines. There's a lot more. Taking place in the Caribbean. The question is, as I asked this morning, as based on what you heard from both interviews, who was telling the truth, who was not? Ella, talk to me on the telephone. Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Matthew.
How are you doing, sir? How are you?
Matthew, I'm around. I've not been following the program too often.
Okay.
But I've been hearing about talks about there being a snap election, Matt. Matt, from all the indications and from every actions we see from Roosevelt, which we know very well, it appears that he's been going towards that direction, Matt. And from the actions at the commission, which, like we promised, myself and Wayne, we wanted to see if we can wrap up the consultation between the discussions on the documents, the rubbish piece of documents sent by Roosevelt Skerrit to the commission. And we've been going through it and expected to have finished it, Matt.
Okay.
But it appears that there's been sabotaged. There's been serious sabotage, Matt. Every day is a different reason why we cannot have meeting. We cannot have meeting for a month, this, that.
Say sabotage by who, though?
By the members of the commission.
Okay.
I guess ordered by the boss. Because we saw after Dennis Byron a meeting, we took over a year before we had a meeting, Matt. Before Dennis Byron gave out his findings and his recommendation. Then after Roosevelt said, every day is another reason why we cannot have meetings, Matt. It's a clear sabotage. And I think it will be time for Wayne, James and I to report to the nation. Because a lot of the nonsense we hear them talking about, when Roosevelt went on radio talking about, fingerprinting is a thing of criminal. We had one of the members of the commission repeating it word for word before I heard Roosevelt Skerrit on your radio, Matt, on the radio, which is utter garbage, Matt. As we said before, to enter America with a U.S. visa, you need to be fingerprinted. To get your green card, you have to be fingerprinted. After you've been fingerprinted, every time you enter into America, you have to be fingerprinted, Matt. To get a citizen by investment passport, Matt, You have to be fingerprinted. Not again if you are an exam, doing an exam of a certain standard. Anytime you go out of the exam to come back inside, you must be fingerprinted, Matt. Matt does not give you any indication or any reason to believe fingerprinting have anything to do with criminality.
Nope.
You have that government been trying to keep all the criminals in their corner. And that is one of the demands from their criminals. You know? And if you're going to pattern your election, the democracy and the security of your election based on the views or the wants of a few criminals, man, where you expect to go? That country is doomed to failure, man. And it is the problem with the corresponding branch, which Roosevelt is denying. That is the reason for wanting to have an election, man. Every time Roosevelt feels he's cornered, what he does is go out there and snap an election, flood the place with some monies, buying little parrot cats and everybody on the road for little $5,300, $500, and $5,000. But if you do this, the mathematics, $5,000 by 5 years, Matt, these people are being sold for something like $1. I have not done the maths. But it's really cheap. And maths is my own, math. I just have to stop to think of it. And while I'm on the conversation, I don't want to waste your time trying to even deal with it. But people are being sold for real cheap in this country. Young people have no future, man. You see these people voting and they leave in. Those that overseas coming in, they couldn't afford a ticket, they come in to vote and leave. Those in Dominica, they accept a little bribe, they vote and they cannot stay in the country. Dominica is empty, man. Nothing happening.
So I just want to ask you this specifically, Mr. Shillingford, because we've been waiting. Anything per se from the commission as to this reform that has been presented to you guys for the past couple months?
Let me say this.
And any specifics, because I know you have been studying the report. You still believe that's just a sham?
Matt, the piece of garbage Roosevelt sent to the commission is an utter disrespect of to Dominicans, Matt. Right? But we would have expected the commission would have stood up as men with balls who have made their millions already. Right? And we would stand up and say, no, that is going a little too far. You know? But basic things you see big men arguing over. And these guys are not broke guys, man. What legacy they leaving for this country? What are they going to leave behind? It appears that it's a 3 against 1. Against 2. Sorry, no disrespect to my brother Wayne. There could never be. To me, he is the best man I could have had fighting alongside me, man. Wayne is a no-nonsense man. And when we stand up when you have to stand up. But sometimes you argue with these guys, Matt. And basic things like Matt is reporting from a studio called Cairo FM.
Q95.
For their own benefit, they'll say, no, Matt is reporting from the sea. And if you put that to a vote, then it becomes the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's 3 against 2. Lately, they haven't been doing votes, Matt. Or we would have had the record show that is our position on certain issues, man. But, Matt, it really looks, it's a shame. If you want to be out there, here in the commission, nice arguments, excellent presentations, Matt. But in the end, these guys will just go with the garbage they want to go with to please their masters, Matt. So what I want to do on that note, Matt, is to ask Dominicans, ask yourself, what do you want? I understand Chinese had a big party in Wesley somewhere down there, Matt, over last weekend. Because as far as they're concerned, they're taking over that area. That will be the most productive area soon, and they're going to hold that square. Matt, I want to ask Dominicans, what are they going to do? What are you going to do for your children? There comes a time when the so-called intelligent people, the so-called educated people, must ask themselves a question. And the time is now. What is going to be left for our children and our children's children, man? These guys out to destroy this country. and we give him another chance, which I doubt Dominicans can be that stupid. Because he has so many laborites crying. But we've heard that before. And come next election, he butter them, get them drunk, bring them into a party mood, and they're voting drunk. And they're suffering for the next 3 to 5 years. Mark, I want to ask Dominicans again, stand up against this dictator. Stand up against the dictator and his goons, man. They cannot mean well for Dominica. We've seen Lennox Linton working like a slave for this country every day. This one is bringing out another story. Stories that are putting and that bring down any government in any other country. And he does it well, man. He's almost accurate when he's pointing out to you. But Dominicans will not move. What is happening? Have they spread something in the atmosphere? And have Dominicans like boo-boo? I don't know what to say, man. But I urge Dominicans to stand up. And myself and Wayne James, my brother, will be reporting to you all, giving you ball-by-ball commentary as to what has transpired. Scary intention is to waste time, have his members of the commission waste time, never be available, always have a reason why the meeting can go on, with the clear intention to lay the blame at the commission. But I can tell you, they cannot say that Wayne and I have been giving them problems or not cooperating or meetings are going well. They will not agree. They will not agree. They will stay like Saul seen on one side. But the meetings are always planned. But there's always reasons to sabotage it. And that is a strategy of Roosevelt carried to ensure that he say, I give them time. I give them 600 and that is his usual style. Showman style, and we must give it a stop at this time, Matt. If you need me, call me on any other point.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Wayne James, Commissioner. Doesn't seem optimistic that the commission itself will do anything about the electoral reform. The vote is 3-2, huh? Now, this morning, let's do some fact checking. I heard the Prime Minister in that interview with the St. Lucian Minister, I think Mr. Frederick, saying that the United Workers' Party, Miss Eugenia Charles is not alive, so I can't talk to her directly. And the UWP did not provide any CBI numbers during the stint of government. Also, I think he left out that he was the Labour Party, also, before he became Prime Minister, also had a chance to present numbers. Did they present numbers? That's a different question. But on the line with me, while I keep, fact checking there, is the Honorable Mr. Ellison James, who was the Prime Minister between 95 and 99, early 2000. He's on the telephone with me. I'm going to ask him a specific question as it relates to transparency, as it relates to CBI. Mr. James, are you there, sir?
Yes, I'm here, Matt. Good morning to you and good morning to your listeners.
I'm sure you heard the Prime Minister speaking to the lack of transparency by former government as it relates to CBI. What can you tell us about that, sir?
Well, Matt, I just wanted to say that I heard the clip you played. I heard it before. And I heard the Prime Minister say that before he became Prime Minister, and here that is, before I became Prime Minister, there was no reporting, no recording of the CBI transactions. Now, Mr. Skerrit became Prime Minister, I think, in 2004, early 2004. Before that, the Labour Party was in office from 2000, and Mr. Skerrit was a cabinet minister during all that time. So that when he became Prime Minister, 4 years after the beginning of the administration of which he was part, and there was no record, I don't know whether the gentleman should not have checked to see and to explain to the people why there were no records, because that was under his watch, his cabinet's watch. He as a minister. Okay? But that is just one of the inconsistencies. I think Mr. Lincoln has clearly pointed out the inconsistencies and almost the downright lies that Mr. Skerrit told. How can he say what he said about there being no problems, he's not aware of any issue with correspondent banking? You were the one, Matt, who asked the question which elicited from him the answer which clearly indicates that he knows about the difficulties with the correspondent banking, the risk of de-risking. He knows all that. So, there are people who, for political reasons, party political reasons, would want to dismiss certain other comments. But please, I'm asking all of us to pay attention to what's happening. We are in serious difficulty with respect to our correspondent banking and our ability to get money from a major source of our activities.
Mm-hmm.
We are now borrowing money from the Kuwaitis, the Saudi Arabians. We are borrowing money from, I noticed there was a comment this morning, a report that there was a groundbreaking ceremony for the road from Nubia to Granby, and there was a total amount of $100 million. Some of that was by way of grant from the British, and the rest was government. I suspect that the rest is from borrowing as well. Okay? So we are borrowing significant amount of money. And I think what we have to recognize is that we have generated sufficient money from the exchange, the sale of our passports, our citizenship, not to have to be borrowing all this amount of money. Okay? So it is not just to come and beat our chest and say, okay, we are getting this loan from the Saudis, or we are getting this loan from the CDB, or that sort of thing, without recognizing that we need not have to be borrowing that money because we used our patrimony, our citizenship, our property to generate enough money for us to be able to do the things that we have to do. Okay? Mr. Skerrit, you remember some years ago, said in response to Mr. Lincoln's disclosure about the amount of money generated from the CBI that was out there not coming to us. Mr. Skerrit said that when the finance people will do their analysis, Mr. Lincoln will be put to shame. That means he was saying that he was going to account for and give the nation a record. I'm urging Mr. Skerrit to do that work and present it to the nation, because the information we have is that there's probably $6 billion outside there in the hands of somebody unauthorized. Okay? And while I'm at it, Matt, I heard the commissioner Shillingford a while ago, and I just want to say something on this small bit. The Constitution provides for the chief elections officer to demit office when he or she reaches the age of 55. But the Constitution also allows for the Parliament to extend that age. They did it some time ago with respect to the Director of Audit. Mr. Byron, to whom we paid over close to $750,000 to do a review and a report, recommended that the age for demitting office of the chief elections officer, the chief registering officer, should be increased to 65. The current chief elections officer, chief registering officer, will achieve the age of 65 later this week. And I think it's important for us to recognize that in the situation where we are dealing with this major reform that Dominicans have asked for, have requested, are demanding, it would be inappropriate, it would be disruptive, it would be undermining the process to be without a chief elections officer, at least the one who has had the experience that the gentleman has acquired over the years. And we are now going into this, confirmation process, which will need a lot of expertise. So my urging is the government should go to the parliament and make the necessary provisions for the current chief elections officer, chief registration officer, to be able to continue the work that he's doing. Otherwise, there'll be a major disruption.
Let me go back to the question of the transparency issue. Mr. James, can you tell us for sure, because Mr. Prime Minister has challenged you guys on the issue of transparency during your tenure with the CBI. Can you give us any specifics in terms of whether he was on point as it relates to the lack of transparency or transparency during your tenure, sir? Yes.
But Matt, you just heard Mr. Skerritt lie through his teeth with the information right in front of him. He spoke to you in July, and he contradicted himself and lied just a while ago. How can you trust this man with anything he says? I'm not going to get involved in any 50-year exercise now to try to talk about transparency. Clearly it was transparent. If it wasn't transparent, Mr. Skerritt and his ministry should have pointed that out right there. Remember, they talk about corruption and get us out because of corruption. And then they said, performance doesn't matter. It's just corruption. And they had a whole investigation into corruption and ended up with nothing. So really, that's just a red herring, which I will not give one iota of attention to. We've already gone past that stage. We have established that Mr. Skerritt is quite willing to lie right in front of you, Matt. Okay? So if there was anything, they've had how many years to have brought it out? What he needs to do now is deal with the situation where he promised 5 years ago, I think 2019 or something, so that his finance people would do the work and they would debunk the assertion of Mr. Linton and others that we have $6 billion outside. That's what he should pay attention to now, and don't allow yourself to get and us to get distracted with this nonsense from Skerritt.
All right, Mr. James, thank you very much. That was Mr. Edison James, a former Prime Minister of Dominica. Let's take your phone calls. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, 939, yes?
Good morning, Matt.
Morning to you, sir.
Well, boy, Matt, it's like a machine gun line McCain. But anyway, to put a point straight, does Mr. Skerritt believe that we are his children somehow? He can just save money for us without telling us? Is that the level? Is that his definition of transparency? I know Mr. Skerritt has his own definition, his own dictionary, as a matter of fact, because he doesn't use the same. The words he says doesn't mean the same. When he talks about transparency, how can you tell us that you're saving money to build an airport without telling us? That's what he's basically saying in the interview. That is his level of transparency, Matt. That's his definition of transparency, to do it without the people knowing. And we're supposed to believe, Skerritt is such a nice guy. He's working in our interest. We're children, Matt. Come on. Enough said.
All right, thank you very much. 449-309-596-97. Hello, yes?
Yes, good morning.
Yes, talk to me.
Right, Mr. Peltier. Concerning the word transparency, I think what people need to know is that X number of passports or citizenships were sold on that date to that person for that amount, and it was deposited in that bank. Now, the Prime Minister said, the eyes can see the length and breadth of Dominica, what the CBI program has done. And he's been saying that now for what? Why is this? Figures don't lie. Tell me how much the building in Grand Bay cost, the one in Grand Fond cost, the one in Delices, Soufriere, and so forth. Tell us. Not just tell us, but in writing. Allow the financial secretary to report. That is transparency. Do not go back to the prior administrations. Let's talk about those billions. Now, if an average of 100,000 US, even if you bring it down to 50,000 US per passport, you just admitted that you sold about 50,000 passports over a period between 2016 and now. Passports are not sold on credit. They are sold for cash. Why do you have the passport money overseas, somewhere else? And as I said earlier in the week, the program has two legs. One, the EDF, Economic Diversification Fund, and the other one is for real estate, which is the hotels. Mr. Scarrett created what he called the housing option, which he admitted to Lennox a couple of years ago. That housing option is like a man just going to your bank account saying, I don't want the money to go in your bank account, I want it to go here. And he take the money from the Economic Diversification Fund and put it in a housing option, whereby he and whoever else have authority to spend it the way they want, and then report to Parliament. Whereas Parliament is the one that should be, since they were elected by the people, should be making decisions about what is and what is not done in terms of raising revenues and spending revenues. So if he wants to talk about transparency, he needs to be transparent. Our eyes cannot add up how many buildings, how many health centers and shelters and so forth were built. We don't know how much they cost. Tell us. And then let's add up the billions that were generated between that same period. And tell us, let us see it in writing by the financial secretary. The government reports, don't tell me you report, Hendrik. The financial secretary is supposed to know everything, supposed to account for everything in this government, and audited each year by the director of audit to give people a clear picture. And when they fail to do it or they lie on those reports, they should be prosecuted for it. So accountability means accountability. But where you have people hiding in the background, allowing a PM or some so-called finance minister to be talking nonsense on the radio, fooling the people, your eyes can see through the lens and breath of Dominica what the CBI money has done. Suppose you have $100 and I tell you, the shoes on my feet cost $500. So what? Your eyes can see it. So if we're going to talk about transparency and the reporting of this government, I think we should challenge this administration about the whole issue of how does he report to us without, giving these inconclusive statements. Thank you, sir.
Right, thank you very much. 449-3094. We'll come back for more after this, Dominica. Stick around.
Want to stay ahead in the world of electronic communications? Then you've got to check out Electoral Bytes, a production of the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority. We dive into the hottest topics affecting the telecom sector, from the latest innovations to the policies shaping your digital future. Tune in to Electoral Bytes on the last 3 Thursdays of this month, September 12th, 19th, and 26th. In the digital world, knowledge is your greatest asset.
And the results for the best evaporated milk is in. Distinction evaporated milk is 100% pure milk. Distinction milk is a fantastic source of calcium, protein, and essential source of vitamins A and D and other nutrients. The great news is that Distinction milk has no added ingredients and no preservatives. Always fresh, always pure, always rich. Now available in 2 sizes, 170 grams and 410 grams. Distinction evaporated milk is perfect for the family to enjoy no matter how you choose to serve it. Distinction milk is always wholesome and always nutritious. For healthy bones and better immune system, choose Distinction evaporated milk. Distributed by Fine Foods and available island-wide.
At Bloombox, we now carry and are fully stocked in granola fertilizers. Urea 46%, great for leafy green 15-15-15, great for all vegetables or young fruit trees 20-20-20, best for foliar spray and seedings and small vegetables 12-12-17, great for tree crops or flowering vegetables and fruits 12-24-12, root crop fertilizer like dasheen and white potato 12-4-28, great for tree crops or flowering vegetables and fruits. Red potash for fruit trees and vegetables. All the fertilizers you need are available at Bloombox, located on Federation Drive, Goodwill, second property on the right after the Valley Link Road. Your one-stop shop for everything that grows. Let's bloom together.
You an easy way to pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
Then you're on your way.
Flow is keeping you connected.
Let's continue the discussion here this morning.
Good morning, man. Matt. Maman, monte nyo bagay kadi, c'est lang kwapo ki taye kwapo. Eve some ki lang scared last taye scared, eve scared pack up one. Ipa some ki scared savio ni recorder eve, the spoken word can be recorded. Ipa some sa. So play your pon lang scared mem taye scared say please scared fe manger avec koi. Linton ban vini la pale, non? Linton ka joué sa scary deal. Le yon mois avant, 2 mois avant, 1 année avant. Mais yo toujours dit, on mentait pas qu'à changer ça, il menti compte avant. Parce que menti, a kouti me ka menti, so il kan menti. Eh ben, c'est ça qui a arrivé scary. Mon côté, ça, ou te ka joué encore cette lisi, mat. Si lang scary pataille scary, eh ben, moun pa ka coupon ça. You pa ke jamais coupon encore. Every time the man speaks, he lies. And he doesn't remember the previous lie he told because it is in his nature to lie. And he's been lying for 20 years. And so, ipani, iani pasa chebe bricks, ipani, it's any gassy kabai. Ipani chebe bricks by. Rang ripaka chebe bricks. So, he can manti. Mais si Dominique n'est pas coupon, il n'y a pas jamais coupon encore. Il n'y a pas qui sont coupon ni anglais, ni patois. Il semble que c'est pas plus même. Tout Dominique n'a besoin de parler besoin ni top Spanish Dominique. So c'est faut apprendre Spanish. Avec chinois pour ça apprendre ça capon place. Avant yo tewe so tout vivant. Good morning, Matt.
Hello, talk to me. 9:50. Yes, somebody was reporting that my service is breaking up since we last spoke. No, I don't get it from the studio. Nobody else has reported that. Hello, talk to me. Yes. Caller, are you there? Caller, are you there? No. Somebody saying, Matt, Mr. Skerritt must remember Mr. Linton was a teacher and he can comprehend very well. Thank you, Double L. Thank you. The message on WhatsApp. Mr. Andrew Holness will play you that report sometime later. It's being investigated there in Jamaica. The Jamaican Prime Minister More investigations taking place across the Caribbean. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Yes, good morning, Matt. And in St. Kitts,
Yes.
the DPP doing their work.
I said that this morning. I read
Yes,
it.
I know that. He
Yes.
does her work. When will our DPP here do the work she's supposed to be doing for the people of Dominica? When will that happen? When the people from that program that them police you are right in that little lane there upstairs there by Astaf and what they calling them again? ICC or CCI. When will they be able to do their job they're supposed to do for Dominica? Matthew, what's your thing again?
A journalist?
A journalist. Matt, can you take a drive one of those days? Take a drive without notifying anybody in the area of Wesley, Matt. Go up there and take a countdown and a head countdown to how many people that is working on that site, because Starboy has stupidity said how many hundreds of Dominicans are employed there. We want to know that for a fact. And all the housing and the airport, but we understood that the majority of the money that has been spent on that airport, it came from our treasury. Did that money came from CBI, Matt?
No.
That money come from our treasury. Our treasury, but the man telling the people in St. Lucia that money come from the CBI. And we know damn well that is a lie. I want our tapes to go out of their voice, not to go out to countries like St. Lucia, St. Kitts. Let people know what we're dealing with inside Dominica. Because the man lying to the people. The man just telling people what they want to hear on the other side, and birds of a feather flock together. And speaking to the St. Lucian Prime Minister, was that true, man?
I don't know if the Prime Minister, but Mr. Frederick, I think. He was
Well, he
speaking.
has
Some
something to
minister.
the government of St. Lucia. I don't think he's your boss.
He's a minister of government. A minister of government.
He's
Yeah.
a minister of government, because the kind of way he was speaking there, you could tell he on the government side, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that man said so many things that he know well he is lying. Why a big man have to come out in public and lie to the people dry? Why you not lying dry? That because when you're looking at him on the video, you see his eyes going. So I don't know who he looking for, and all four corners inside of the room. He's speaking to somebody. Man with serious a serious condition, a serious state in our country. And I heard Simeon said that we can win the election by whatever he said we have to do there. Simeon, if you can help us do that, come and help us make strategy and strategize on how we can win that election without the voters, a proper voters ID card in the way we're supposed to have the voters ID card. Because today you're telling them people, oh, I seem so hard. Then they get $1,000, they run into the polling station to vote. How that going to happen there? We would really like to know. Or if you can do it, help us do it, please. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you very much. Somebody says, Matt, did I hear highways in that interview with the St. Lucian the St. Lucian minister? Portsmouth to Roseau, Chinese funded and built. No CBI program. That's a bra and Nancy alone would not pay credit, but save money to pay the same credit. Yes, bro, self-service is going. Well, I'll talk to my technician about that. Hello, talk to me, yes? Good morning. Are you there?
Good morning, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Matt, I am begging Mr. Skerritt now to fix he has CBI money, fix the road in Bells on the way to the airport. There are a few dangerous places there, and they've been there since Erica. Read my lips, Matt.
Mhm.
Erica. Yeah. Fix those little sections because people are having accidents there all the time. A farmer fell in there with his pickup truck and all his dashing was all over the road. Cars are crashing there because two vehicles cannot pass there. And with those big Chinese trucks, they cannot stop in time. If somebody meets one there, there's going to be more accidents. So, Mr. Skerritt, you have a lot of CBI. The economy is good. Everything's good. Fix the road. Why are you waiting since Erica? Those roads are bad. No, Matt, Mr. Skerritt and I listened to that interview, Matt. First of all, now I'm hearing that the gentleman who interviewed him was a minister of government.
A minister of
Is that
government.
But what is a minister of government doing interviewing Roosevelt Skerritt in St. Lucia? On what kind of program? A government program?
Oh, I don't know if it's a government program, but of course, the minister was speaking to the CBI, the benefits of the CBI program. That's what the interview was about there on St. Lucian Radio. Hello? Yes?
So they're using a minister to butter up the
The CBI program, yes. You speak goods of good.
butter up the
Yeah.
people of St. Lucia. I see. That is very interesting. A government minister into two liars. Oh boy. Good afternoon.
Good morning to you. Not afternoon, just yet. 449-3095, 449-3096. Are you there, caller? Yes?
Good morning, Matthias. How are you this morning, Matthias?
How are you doing? Tad, how are you, man?
You're taking a rough life easy. You know, he's already trying to stay focused.
That's it.
Matt, Matt, I want to wish Brother G a speedy recovery from his motorcycle accident. One of the new musicians, you know. Hope you have a speedy recovery. But Matt, that reminds me of a song, Wake Me Up. Well, this morning, Mr. Scared, wake me up, eh? Yeah, Mr. Scared, wake me up, Matt. Boy, all my ears stand up on my skin this morning. My God. Matt, you know what that I sit down here really checking, Matt? All due respect. Matt, you know Mr. Skerritt make history in the world.
You made history?
Yeah, man, Mr. Skerritt make history, and a lot of people never address that part in our history, you know. A world history man make there, you know. World record the man set, you know. But Mr. Skerritt is the only voteless prime minister in the world, and causing all that collateral damage, Matt. You never realize that? Matt, that is the only prime minister on earth that don't have not one vote, including himself. Including he voting for himself. You never realize that, Matt?
You say he doesn't have a vote? That's what I heard?
But, Matt, who voted Mr. Skerritt?
Nobody from the last election. Nobody for sure.
Did he vote himself?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
No, Matt. It was automatic by default.
Oh, that I can confirm, yes.
Right, there's no vote. So a voteless prime minister causing all that collateral damage, Matt. You see the problem. You see, sometimes you're asking for reform, but there are certain fundamental principles within my mind that should be mandatory in reform. How can anybody in the world watch somebody govern them, set up a platform of government to implement policies, whatever, to run their life, the whole island life, to represent the islanders of Dominica, Matt. And they don't have not one mandate from the people to do so. How in our policy, first of all, we allow that to happen? That's my problem, you know. It's not about whether Mr. Skerritt good or bad, you know. Understand responsibility of a prime minister, Matt. In your commonsensical mind, Matt. In your principle-oriented mind, Matt. Do you think somebody should represent people without one representation in the public to allow them to do so through a poll, Matt?
No.
But that is what we have in Dominica going on there. That is why partner feeling unchallenged, on reason why he should be accountable to anybody, because nobody don't put in there to work for them. In Mr. Skerritt's narcissistic back mind, behind his brain, based on the characteristics I see there, based on his own utterances, Matt, he doesn't feel obligated to report to people. The man say, well, first time I hear that in my life, right in the interview, he is saying that he was putting money and did not say anything until. And in the same breath, the man is saying he's the most accountable person. Matt, I don't know why I have to call my mother and ask her why she sent me to school. I West Convent Prep, West St. Mary's Academy, Matt. That's how I feel in, Matt. And I know this kind of things. Because at some point in time, you expect your leadership to present better. That is uncompromising. You have to do what you have to do for people. But you cannot go on like that, Dread. Matt, let me tell you something, Matt. Matt, mark my words today.
Mm-hmm.
You see them, Nika? Matt, let me tell you something. You see, I on the outside and I feeling it. I can just imagine that people that in the system, eating, breathing, and passing number 2 on that system, Matt. How they feeling inside. Matt, pressure burst pipe, but I don't think that pressure is about a pipe it bursting. I think the pressure has passed the pipe bond ethics. Right now, that pressure is under a seismic in the core of the earth, waiting for an eruption from the core of the earth of Dominicans. That is all I feel in. Because I cannot understand, or not in my right thinking mind, how somebody can, or people can just sit down there and watch all that happen. And all around the world, man, every day I turn on my TV. You see people getting convicted for all them kind of things before they smell it, they in the court. Dominica, you getting all around for that, Matt. People coming on a radio station, a gang of them, defending that with all their guts, boy. Making excuses for that. And everybody in Dominica sit down there watching the hardship hit them home and just agreeing it so it is. Well, I might have a daughter of Dominicans. I think it's passing so for now, but Matt is going to have a sad day, because right now, I think people, boy, Matt, I fret for Dominican, but I don't know how people can tolerate that. Matt, let me tell you something. You know, just I don't want to take too much of your time. Matt, what hurts me again with that CBI, Matt.
Tell me.
They keep elaborating on infrastructure. They keep saying you have zero debt for that. They're putting that into that. Matt, if you have a certain amount of money that in your mind, according to your own self, you say might not last forever, man. If you have $100 coming in every month, man, and you realize that $100 is your only revenue, but it will not last forever, man. Matt, when you collect in the little $100, man, what would you do with it as a smart man?
I'll put a little aside.
And invest. The most important thing is to see how money can make money. So when the machine not making money break down, you have another system generating the money, right, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Matt,
yes.
Kerry cannot pull up one mission that make in Dominica that letting CBI money make money for his own point that one day the CBI might end. So he cannot post, he cannot promote of no continuance of CBI funding, CBI finance, where it go and create some other level of sustainable finance coming into Dominica, Matt. That is the worst thing you could ever do as a prime minister managing the country money, is to not put the money to work where it can come back twice or triple as much. So in case the factory is making it break down, you have two other things running from that development, man. Everything going into dead infrastructure, dead. A road don't make that $1. The hotel don't finish in. They're killing everything dead. Don't talk about geothermal. They're busting about geothermal and this and that. Matt, you know what happened in the geothermal? Somebody got run the line for another big money contract. Man, who you think will pay for that?
A new India company, yes. I just signed a contract there, yeah.
Matt, who you think going to pay for that again, Matt? No, Matt, you have to pay attention, Realize the allies is associated to income for investment. That is same India that wanted to talk, Don't forget that. He stays with people with a certain characteristics and a certain friendship. To him, that is same India they send jet for toxic maybe. No, man. That is same India that send vaccine, that's partners. But he says these are his friends. But anybody in government that call any other diplomatic, what should be relations, a friend, we're looking at personal gain.
All right, I'll tell you what. Because of time, Tad, and everybody seemed to be calling in. Very interesting conversation there, but we got to move on. Thank you very much, Tad. $10.07. Somebody reminds me, Matt Skerritt went to Parliament and said a fisherman makes 45,000 a day, and I guess that's who he got his from. That information as it relates to grant for development. The guy is an artist and pathological liar. I'm gonna do anything to remain in power. That's a WhatsApp message. Let's take another phone call. It's 10:08 in the morning. Hello, yeah?
Matt, good morning again.
Morning to you.
This thing they call the government of Dominica. There are people always saying, education officers are always saying, first time they have a government that. First time they have a government that gives so many teachers appointment. First time. But they fail to realize that first time they have a person in government in charge of the country that is lying like that. First time in history. You hear the man tell you that man make history? Well, he make history. First time you have a lying man like that.
All right, 449-3095. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, Dominica, right after this.
The Dominica Institute of Customer Service invites you to the 2024 Service Excellence Conference and Awards. This premier event will spotlight the true stars of service across Dominica with 6 individual categories and 13 business categories. 19 exceptional service professionals and organizations will be honored for their commitment to excellence. But this year, we're taking it up a notch. Alongside the awards, we are hosting an empowering conference, offering valuable insights and strategies to elevate service delivery to new heights. Plus, don't miss the grand unveiling of Dominica's first Customer Service Index, a groundbreaking initiative to measure and enhance service standards. Join us on October 5th at 7 p.m. at the Fortune Hotel for an unforgettable evening of inspiration, learning, and celebration. Nominations are open until September 30th. Don't miss this chance to recognize the service stars among us. See you there. Contact us at 440-8606 or 225-8606.
Want to stay ahead in the world of electronic communications? Then you've got to check out Electoral Bytes, a production of the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority. We dive into the hottest topics affecting the telecom sector, from the latest innovations to the policies shaping your digital future. Tune in to Electoral Bytes on the last 3 Thursdays of this month, September 12th, 19th, and 26th. In the digital world, knowledge is your greatest asset.
Get ready to experience the ultimate celebration of culture and beauty. On Sunday, September 29th, Madame Wabduyet Canada presents the annual Madame Wabduyet pageant at St. Peter and Paul Banquet Hall, 231 Milner Avenue in Scarborough, Ontario. It's going to be an afternoon of elegance, celebration, heritage, and vibrant traditions. Hosted by Paula Leighton Loblack, Camille Andrew Dewhurst, and Akua Delfish, with music by the one and only Levi Super L. Loblack, DJ Super. This event is the one that you don't want to miss. So mark your calendars. 2 p.m. Sunday, September the 29th at St. Peter and Paul Banquet Hall, 231 Milner Avenue, Scarborough, Ontario. Early bird tickets are on sale now for just $75 and $85 at the door. Children under 12, only $35. And your ticket includes dinner. For more info, contact Lorraine Delsall at 905-683-6806. Glenora at 647-262-9944. And Vanessa at 780-691-5795. It's going to be a day of fashion, music, and culture like never before. Come and experience Dominica and all it has to offer. We can't wait to see you there. Be sure to follow Madame Wabduyet Canada by going to madamewabduyetcanada.com.
Dominic, I said to you this morning, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, I'm sure some of you are aware about this, is under investigation. A report presented by the Integrity Commission. Questions are now being asked. Let's listen to this report.
Thank you so much for joining us on All Angles. I'm Dion Jax Miller. So today we're going to be spending most of the program getting reactions to the Integrity Commission report in relation to the Prime Minister's statutory declarations. But first, our colleague Kirk Wright is at the Prime Minister's residence or near the Prime Minister's residence where police have been deployed. And Kirk, what can you tell us?
Thank you very much, Dion. Well, I was near his residence probably about 7 minutes ago, and someone from his security detail came and instructed me that I couldn't stay there. So I'm driving around, I'm still in the area. But when I got here about 7 o'clock tonight, I saw no less than 6 police vehicles, some of them from specialized operation, one from PSTEB, and persons in the area have been saying to me that it's unusual that to see so many police officers driving around and stationed very near to the Prime Minister's residence. I inquired, but the police officers are very tight-lipped. However, I spoke with a senior officer, and he told me that it was as a result of a bomb threat. That I can't confirm, but the police officers are still here. The numbers have reduced, but there's one still stationed very near to his premises. And I saw, probably about 5 minutes ago, I saw several police vehicles, again, from specialized operation driving around the area. One police told me earlier on that is just normal operation, normal procedure. This doesn't look normal to me in any way at all. So I'm here and, I'll be monitoring as much as I can to give you the latest update.
To let you know as well, Kirk, we just this minute got a statement coming in from the police that said the deployment was initiated in response to credible intelligence gathered by the police indicating a legitimate security threat to the Prime Minister and his household. They said swift and effective action successfully repelled the threat and that they continue to maintain a presence at the location. So that, in addition to what you've seen, I think at least gives us a little bit of an idea. As you said, we know you're going to continue to monitor. Thank you so much, Kirk. We appreciate you joining us.
Certainly. Thank you.
Kirk right there joining us from near the Prime Minister's residence, whereas the police are saying there was a legitimate security threat. Our news center continues to monitor the story. We'll have developments in later newscasts. Now, back to our main story on all angles, which is the Integrity Commission and the report that was tabled in Parliament yesterday in relation to Prime Minister Andrew Holness's statutory declarations. In studio with me, we have Marlon Morgan. He's member of the Jamaica Labour Party Communications Task Force. We also have the People's National Party spokesperson on finance, Julian Robinson. Later in the program, we hear from civil society advocates, Daniel Archer, as well as Jeanette Calder. First, though, let's take a little bit of a look at what came out in the report that was tabled. Now, before I tell you what the report said, what is the report about? So I realize that these 171 pages, it's a big report, that all this has confused a lot of people. And honestly, I do think it could have been presented in a better way, a clearer way. But anyway, we are where we are. So let's try and get things clear now. First thing for you to understand is that the report deals with two issues, and I realize people have been confusing the two. The first issue has to do with allegations that Prime Minister Andrew Holness did not declare to the Integrity Commission that his name was on 4 bank accounts that he supposedly jointly held with other people. The second issue had to do with questions about what is called illicit enrichment, and we'll get to that in a little bit. So it says the process of examining Mr. Holness's 2021 statutory declaration commenced in 2022. On September 30, 2022, the commissioners referred the matter to the Director of Investigation for investigation because of concern that Mr. Holness's declaration was incomplete because of omissions. The director found that there were omissions of bank accounts from Mr. Holness's statutory declaration, which meant that the declaration was incomplete and inaccurate. So this is where now the 4 bank accounts that you've probably been hearing about come in. But one of the financial institutions messed up things. Back to the report. A major issue that arose was that the currency in which one of the accounts was held was reported in US dollars instead of Jamaican dollars. And the director said this altered the course of the investigation, which was at an advanced stage. And then the financial institution indicated it had made an error. As a result, the investigation was closed on February 19, 2023, and a report sent to the commissioners. The omissions were found to be inadvertent, so no finding of culpability made on the part of Mr. Holness. The statutory declaration, though, was inaccurate and incomplete, so that first investigation now was closed, but the declaration still not certified. So Mr. Holness was asked to and did give the Commission an updated statutory declaration for 2021. This declaration was examined by the Director of Information and Complaints, and it raised further concerns to include prima facie, means on the face of it, that Mr. Holness owned assets disproportionate to his lawful earnings. The result of that is that the 2021 statutory declaration was referred by the Commission to the Director for investigation a second time. So this second investigation now started on May 3rd, 2023. Just to make a note, so when you hear talk about how this has been going on for 3 years, not so. This second investigation started about 15 or 16 months ago. So the director of investigation starts the investigation, and this is what he said he did. A big part of the report is about how money was moving between Mr. Holness's account and between the accounts in these three companies which were connected to him.
Well, government officials been investigated all over the Caribbean here. Jamaica now, hood of St. Kitts, St. Lucia. There's a report coming from Shasney that somebody wants to talk about. Let's listen to that because NCC.
Let us not mistake what is taking place with CIP. Blatant corruption. And can you imagine that a sitting prime minister of Dominica, a country that has lost its visas to England, has lost its visas to Ireland, that has become a laughing stock in the world, would find himself on Richard Frederick's show? But there's a saying, birds of a feather will flock together. A picture paints 1,000 words. But tell scared, I will tell scared. The same thing that Sir John Compton told Ralph Gonzalez in 2006. When Ralph
All right, Dominica, Mr. Shasney's putting the Skerritt under the microscope there. But again, Dominica will continue, of course, at 1 o'clock with more. That was Mr. Charles Shasney, the former Prime Minister of St. Lucia. Stick around, Dominica. Now the opposition leader. Before we take our next stop, which is the CCCUL, Central Cooperative, we have this report there from Mr. Jeffrey James, the Assistant Commissioner of Investigations. So stick around. Some reports coming in there on the weekend.
The Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force has been investigating the stabbing death of George Branca, which occurred in Roseau on the night of the 14th of September 2024. And as of today, Michael Carlos Leo, male adult of St. Lucia, who resides in Dominica, has been charged with the murder of Jones Branca. In connection with the same incident, Christian Mariel, male adult of St. Lucia, has been charged for accessory after the fact. Both accused are expected to be taken before the Roseau Magistrate Court to be dealt with according to law. In addition, a male juvenile who has been arrested, investigated, and charged for the attempted murder of Daniel Stephen, which occurred on the 13th of September 2024 in Roseau, has been remanded in custody at the state prison, having been brought before the Roseau Magistrate Court. I can also confirm the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force has commenced investigation into the discovery of what appeared to be the lifeless body of a child which was discovered on the morning of 22nd of September 2024 on the seaside at Penville. The Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force is soliciting the assistance of the general public with the investigation of this matter and is asking anyone with any information to contact the nearest police station or the Criminal Investigation Department at telephone numbers 266-5164, 266-5165, 266-5157, or Crime Stoppers Hotline 1-800-8477.
Let's do this and come back. Of course, we're here with Central Cooperative Credit Union. Stick around.
Cooperative Credit Union, it encourages all members to update their accounts. Members, please present the following at any of our 2 branches. Valid picture ID. This could be a passport, Dominica Social Security card, government-issued ID, such as driver's license or state ID, proof of address, reflecting your name and current address. This document could be a utility bill, hire purchase document, bank statement, bank reference letter, employment letter, or driver's license. Where your driver's license is presented as a proof of address, you will need to present your passport or Dominica Social Security card as identification. While you are at the branch of your choice, please take the opportunity to update the beneficiary to your account. The purpose of this is to ensure that upon your death, the person whom you so desire will get the proceeds to your account. Please visit our Goodwill or Portsmouth branch today. Our friendly and efficient staff are waiting to serve you.
Dominic, is 10:27. We're here with Central. On the Monday, we'll have more talk at 1 o'clock on the Talk on the Block. Stick around. Some interesting stories at 1 o'clock, so stick around. But we're here now with Central. Some new faces this morning, so let's just say good morning to you, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning to you, Mr. Matt. How are you doing?
All right, Mr. Peltier. Good morning to you, sir. Ma'am, sorry.
Yes, good morning to you, Matt.
How are you doing? How are you
I'm
doing?
good. How are you?
You're good?
Yes, I am.
Happy to be a staff of Central, huh? How long you been a staff member there?
About 3 years.
3 years, and you?
Likewise for me.
3 years, okay. So we have a pretty young staff member. A few staff members are pretty young this morning. Good morning again. Good morning. So let's start with how does one become a member of Central?
All right. Membership is open to all. We welcome everyone. We do not discriminate. Becoming part of the Central team and family is easy.
Okay.
All right.
It's easy. Tell me how it's easy.
All right. What is needed to become a member is a valid picture ID.
Okay.
That could either be a passport photo, a passport, your social security card, or driver's license. It has to be valid, not expired.
I was about to ask this question because sometimes you go in with an ID and you realize it's not valid.
It has to be valid.
Okay, meaning that it has to be time.
Yes. A proof of address is also needed, which could either be a utility bill, a bank statement, or reference letter.
Okay.
All right. So to purchase, you need to purchase at least 1 share to become a member. 1 share costs $50. All right. Your passbook and processing fee is $15. That makes it to $65. You may also need to add a beneficiary to your account upon creating the account.
Just one, or you can have 2?
You can add many.
As many as you want?
As much as you need.
Okay.
You just need to present the correct
names or
correct names. It has to be full government name.
Okay. No nicknames, no, just full names.
Full names.
All right. And so what I want you to repeat, what is it that you really need to open the account? You said $65? That's
correct. You can also deposit a little more just to add to the savings account.
Okay.
But the $65, that will be minimum. $50 to purchase 1 share upon creating the account, and $15 for the passbook and processing fee.
You mentioned beneficiaries. Why are beneficiaries important?
Yes, actually, Matt, this is a critical part of the process. It's a very important step. And what you find is quite a few members, people who come in to open accounts, they will say, oh, I'm not ready yet. I will come back to do that. But no, you need to understand that it's a very important part of the process because it will save your loved ones the trouble of trying to access your funds after you pass. You will need to name a beneficiary to the account. So that is something you have to think about even before you come into the credit union to open the account. Who is going to be your beneficiary? And it's also an important thing.
So it's just not automatic that you pass it on to somebody else?
No, you must name a beneficiary. You must name, and it's as I say, it's a critical part of the process. We need to name a beneficiary. So in case you pass, your loved ones will have no trouble at all accessing your funds.
And tell me, why is it so important to update beneficiaries, though?
Yes, because certainly you don't want your funds to be in the hands of a wrong person. For example, you might have come in 15 years ago to open your account, and at that time you were married. And fast forward to 2024, you either maybe your husband has passed on, so that means your beneficiary is deceased, or that you are divorced, and you certainly don't want your ex to have access to your funds. So it's and the credit union is going to go by what we have on file. Whatever we have on file, this is what we go by, even if you are divorced. And so if in the event that there is no beneficiary on file, then you are required to go through the legal process of obtaining.
But there's some people who just refuse to. They don't want to have a beneficiary. I'm sure you know that. There's some people who just don't want a beneficiary. So what happens in that regard?
Exactly. So then you have to think about, okay, in the event you pass, what's going to happen to your funds? Who's going to benefit from your funds? So you have to think about that. And you are not obligated. We don't force you to name a beneficiary, but we really encourage you to do so.
The question remains: should your next of kin, is that automatic? Then you pass it?
No, it's not automatic. The credit union recognizes who you name as the beneficiary. If it means that you named your next of kin, then fine. If you did not, then no, this next of kin will not have access to your funds.
So what would happen in that process if you don't have any? You don't want to pass it on to the next of kin. What happens then? What happens to your funds? Do you have to go through some legal process?
Yes, your loved ones will have to go through the legal process of obtaining letters of administration, and that is what the credit union will recognize.
Are we going to move on to updating your accounts? What is necessary? What do you need?
So to update your account, you would need your valid ID and an updated proof of address. So as long as you present these two documents, then you could either pay a $5 deposit or $5 withdrawal. That's the minimum. And then your account will be reactivated. You would then have to list your beneficiary and next of kin to the updated account.
How often would you have to do that? Updating your account?
You could update your account after 12 months, which is approximately a year, or if there are any changes to your life pattern.
There's an online portal. Can you update your account through that?
You'd have to come to the branch, or you could contact us via email and our contact numbers, so then we could reach out to you and give you the best possible way in processing the update.
So it's preferable that you come in yourself.
Well, yes, actually, you can go to our website, and you can go to our website to submit. There's you can actually start the process, for example, of becoming a member by going to the website and submit your information there. But you must come into the branch to complete that. And yes, you must come into the branch to update your account.
There are many people from overseas. Can they update their accounts from overseas?
They can, but everything.
What's the process there?
You get in contact with us, and we send you the necessary documents via email. But all of these documents must be notarized,
including the ID and proof of address.
The ID as well?
They must be notarized. And when it's also important that when you go to a notary public, that the notary public signs, besides stamping the document, they have to sign and date the document. And the stamp of the notary public must bear an expiry date, because I have seen some with no expiry date, and also that the notary public, there's no signature of the notary public. But we have to be careful that when we go to a notary public, that the notary public actually signs and date this document.
All right, when we come back, Dominica, we'll move on with the Central Cooperative Credit Union. Stick around.
Central Cooperative Credit Union is encouraging all members to update their account. Members, please present the following at any of our 2 branches. Valid picture ID. This could be a passport, Dominica Social Security card, government issued ID, such as driver's license or state ID, proof of address reflecting your name and current address. This document could be a utility bill, hire purchase document, bank statement, bank reference letter, employment letter, or driver's license. Where your driver's license is presented as a proof of address, you will need to present your passport or Dominica Social Security card as identification. While you are at the branch of your choice, please take the opportunity to update the beneficiary to your account. The purpose of this is to ensure that upon your death, the person whom you so desire will get the proceeds to your account. Please visit our Goodwill or Portsmouth branch today. Our friendly and efficient staff are waiting to serve you. Central Cooperative Credit Union is encouraging all members to update their accounts. Members, please present the following at any of our 2 branches. Valid picture ID. This could be a passport, Dominica Social Security card, government issued ID, such as driver's license or state ID, proof of address reflecting your name and current address. This document could be a utility bill, hire purchase document, bank statement, bank reference letter, employment letter, or driver's license. Where your driver's license is presented as a proof of address, you will need to present your passport or Dominica Social Security card as identification. While you are at the branch of your choice, please take the opportunity to update the beneficiary to your account. The purpose of this is to ensure that upon your death, the person whom you so desire will get the proceeds to your account. Please visit our Goodwill or Portsmouth branch today. Our friendly and efficient staff are waiting to serve you.
We're back, Dominica. The next segment is very important, huh? We're dealing with declaration of source of funds. You know, everybody come back to the credit union and send some money and they say, why do I have to do this? It's my money. So these experts here are going to tell you why is it important to declare the source of funds or your source of funds. But first, let's start off with the question of what is the source of funds? Can you break that down for us, sir?
Yes, so the source of funds basically is the origin of your money. So for an example would be your salary, your monthly salary.
Mhm.
Another example might be your inheritance from your grandparents, or you sold your car. So that's basically what the source of funds is.
You know, it's a very ticklish matter. So okay, so I come to the credit union, well, say $5,000, $6,000, and I don't necessarily want to tell you where the money is from. It's very important that you do tell.
Yes, basically there are laws. We are mandated to comply with the
So this is legal.
Yes,
Okay.
by law, the credit union is required to request that information from the member. We are guided by the anti-money laundering laws and terrorism financing laws. And so when you come to the credit union with an amount that meets the threshold for declaration, then
So what's the threshold?
the threshold. No, there are 2 parts to that. So the threshold is $10,000, 10,000 EC dollars for the credit unions. So if you walk in with 10,000 EC dollars,
No questions asked?
yes, you must declare where you got that money from. What is the source of this money?
So if I come with $9,999.
Okay, so there's the other part of it is, if you come with 9,000, we still reserve the right to ask you to declare if that is not consistent with your regular savings pattern. So let's say every month you save two to $300 every month for the past few years, and one day you walk in with $5,000. We reserve the right to ask you to declare the source of this fund.
Even if it's low, way below $10,000.
Yes. So that's why I said there are two parts to it.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
All right. What are the common sources of funds, and some of the examples that we spoke about?
They are the legitimate sources and the illegitimate sources. Meaning that your legitimate sources would be your source of income from your employment or business income. It could be of sales, it could be of loans. And there are the illegitimate sources, which could be from drug trafficking and all these sort of illegal activities. So then ask you to present the documents.
So I come in and I don't want to declare. You send me back with my money? Is that what happened?
No, we'll then try to work with you to ask you for if there are any documentations to prove that the money is legit.
And if you can't provide the document, you've been turned away.
Yeah, we cannot accept.
We cannot accept the money.
You can't?
No.
No.
Being it's a legal matter. Would you say, quote unquote, inform the law people, or that's not your business? It's a tricky one, huh?
Inform the law people.
All right, so I come in. It's not somebody that's accustomed of coming in money, but then I present $10,000, and I don't want to tell you where the money is from. Is it your right as an officer of the credit union to inform?
Yes. So if you refuse to declare and you take your money and walk away, we have a right to report.
You have a right to report.
Yes, we do have a right to report to the unit that this person walked in with an amount and refused to declare. Yes, we do have a right to report.
What is the first time I'm hearing that though? What's the difference between source of funds and source of wealth?
Well, your source of funds, as we explained, would be your salary, your monthly salary, and
before that, you report to the Financial Intelligence Unit. Is that the agency that you report to?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Right. So your source of funds, as we explained earlier, would be your monthly salary. Your source of wealth would be the source of your accumulated wealth. So it could be your net salary for the last 30 years that you've worked. So that's your wealth. That's your source of wealth. Your salary could be your source of wealth.
How much money must be deposited to provide a declaration of funds? I think we spoke about that, but we can repeat that.
Okay, so initially, if you walk in with 10,000 EC, you will be required to declare by law. But also, if you walk in with less than that, maybe from 5,000, between 5 and 10,000, but this is not in line with your regular savings patterns, then we have a right to ask you to declare.
I just want to reiterate, what is the importance of source of funds verification? What the importance of that?
It's basically to ensure that we comply with the anti-money laundering laws and the the other regulations governing illegal money, such as anti-terrorist financing laws, and to ensure that this kind of illegal money doesn't come in through the credit union. And we're talking about money from drug trafficking, human trafficking, fraud, corruption, to name a few.
All right, but somebody, let's just say that somebody gives me some money. I'm a businessman. Somebody gives me some money to deposit on somebody else's account. Would you really question that though?
Well, it depends on the amount of money. If you can deposit on somebody's behalf,
right?
But if it reached the threshold for declaration, then yes, you'll be required to declare.
So I'm a businessman. I'm a customer of depositing, say, $5,000, and somebody has given me some money to put in the account. Would that be questioned?
What is the additional amount that's the question, Matt? Mr. Peltier.
Yes.
It depends on the amount that's given to you to deposit onto the account. Let's say you bring your $5,000.
Well, I'm a businessman. How do you know that I don't? I'm deposited to that account, and it's my money deposited in that account. How do you resolve that issue if you know what I'm talking about? So somebody give me $5,000 to put in the account, but I'm a businessman. So I'm accustomed of depositing monies onto my account. But like for today, I'm saying let me just pass that money to somebody else. Would you question that the fact that I'm putting that money on somebody else's account?
No, it's we look at the amount that is being deposited, because people deposit on behalf of other persons all the time.
Okay.
But if it meets the $10,000, even if you are a businessman and you are accustomed of depositing that much or even more than that, the law says 10,000. We have to follow the 10,000 rule. Yeah, you still have to declare every time.
It's a little tricky on that one there, but we'll move on. We're going to take a quick break, and of course, Dominic, when we come back, we'll take a break, and of course, wrap it up there with the central coverage, the final comments. We're going to come back up there.
Central Cooperative Credit Union is encouraging all members to update their accounts. Members, please present the following at any of our 2 branches. Valid picture ID. This could be a passport, Dominica Social Security card, government-issued ID, such as driver's license or state ID, proof of address, reflecting your name and current address. This document could be a utility bill, hire purchase document, bank statement, bank reference letter, employment letter, or driver's license. Where your driver's license is presented as a proof of address, you will need to present your passport or Dominica Social Security card as identification. While you are at the branch of your choice, please take the opportunity to update the beneficiary to your account. The purpose of this is to ensure that upon your death, the person whom you so desire will get the proceeds to your account. Please visit our Goodwill or Portsmouth branch today. Our friendly and efficient staff are waiting to serve you. Central Cooperative Credit Union is encouraging all members to update their accounts. Members, please present the following at any of our 2 branches. Valid picture ID. This could be a passport, Dominica Social Security card, government-issued ID, such as driver's license or state ID, proof of address, reflecting your name and current address. This document could be a utility bill, hire purchase document, bank statement, bank reference letter, employment letter, or driver's license. Where your driver's license is presented as a proof of address, you will need to present your passport or Dominica Social Security card as identification. While you are at the branch of your choice, please take the opportunity to update the beneficiary to your account. The purpose of this is to ensure that upon your death, the person whom you so desire will get the proceeds to your account. Please visit our Goodwill or Portsmouth branch today. Our friendly and efficient staff are waiting to serve you.
Here's a question somebody just called me and asked. Okay, I'm paying a loan, and I'm accustomed of paying $300 on my loan. So this month I decide I want to pay. I want to pay the loan off very quickly, and I bring in $900 or $1,000 or $1,500. Would you take my money?
We would, Mr. Beltier, or to the customer who's asking that question, we would. It doesn't determine the amount that you bring in. Let's say you want to close up the loan. The frontline staff would then communicate to the loan officer or acting loan officer at the moment to allow them to know that this customer is making such payment, and they would give the go-ahead.
No, but the question is deeper than that, because you just spoke about declaring your funds. So I come in with a little more money this time, but it's not the custom. It's not the amount that I usually do. So what happens in that instance?
Well, Matt, 900 is not significantly different from the 300 that you're accustomed of paying. I mean, 900, 1,005. That's that's not a lot.
So you question
if you're accustomed of paying 300 and
I pay 5,000,
and you come in, you walk in with $5,000 to $10,000, then we will ask you.
You'll question that. So
Yes.
it depends again on the amount.
Yes.
Okay, I get it. Any final comments before you go? Because a lot of questions are coming in now. I don't know if we'll have a time to do that. But any final comments before you go? It was a pleasure having you guys this morning.
Thank you for having us, Mr. Peltier. No questions.
Any final comments, ma'am?
Basically, yes. Thank you for having us. And then we want to let our members know that we appreciate them. We love them. Every day we try to, strategize on how to give them the best service, the best experience when they come to visit Central. So keep coming, and we appreciate you.
We appreciate you too. Keep coming back, okay?
Thank you.
Nice to have you this morning. All right, bye-bye.
Members, please present the following at any of our 2 branches. Valid picture ID. This could be a passport, Dominica Social Security card, government issued ID, such as driver's license or state ID, proof of address, reflecting your name and current address. This document could be a utility bill, hire purchase document, bank statement, bank reference letter, employment letter, or driver's license. Where your driver's license is presented as a proof of address, you will need to present your passport or Dominica Social Security card as identification. While you are at the branch of your choice, please take the opportunity to update the beneficiary to your account. The purpose of this is to ensure that upon your death, the person whom you so desire will get the proceeds to your account. Please visit our Goodwill or Portsmouth branch today. Our friendly and efficient staff are waiting to serve you. Central Cooperative Credit Union is encouraging all members to update their accounts. Members, please present the following at any of our 2 branches. Valid picture ID. This could be a passport, Dominica Social Security card, government issued ID, such as driver's license or state ID, proof of address, reflecting your name and current address. This document could be a utility bill, hire purchase document, bank statement, bank reference letter, employment letter, or driver's license. Where your driver's license is presented as a proof of address, you will need to present your passport or Dominica Social Security card as identification. While you are at the branch of your choice, please take the opportunity to update the beneficiary to your account. The purpose of this is to ensure that upon your death, the person whom you so desire will get the proceeds to your account. Please visit our Goodwill or Portsmouth branch today. Our friendly and efficient staff are waiting to serve you.
Let's take a voice note before we wrap it up here this morning there.
Good morning, Dominicans. Good morning, Mr. Peltier. Matt, I wish you could give me equal time to respond to that diatribe that I just heard spewed by what passes for the Dominica Prime Minister and some guy out of St. Lucia. Matt, I have never heard more lies, more disinformation. Matt, I don't know. Mr. Skerritt says that he saw there was nothing achieved before he came on board. Matt, how come then his government, forgave $6.1 million that was loaned to Sam Raphael from that same program? The Gallery Hotel was a recipient. Other smaller hotels participated, were recipients, Matt. In his case, Matt, it is only his friends and foreigners that benefited from the money. He talked about its contribution to the economy, Matt. Matt, he allowed a $5 billion industry that represented 30% of Dominica's economy to leave Dominica. That was in Dominica, maybe before Skerritt was born. He allowed it to go. There was a country that functioned socially, economically, politically, and otherwise very well before the advent of the Labour Party. There's a government that functioned effectively. In fact, Matt, for those persons who may not recall, work had started on an enhanced airport facility The lands were purchased and paid for. There were commitments from the European Union, from the British government, from the Americans, from the Cubans. Funds were left when the government demitted office to continue with the airport. It was at an elevated site where they would not have to be excavating approximately 33 meters of land, fill it up with concrete without providing freeway for the water that has gathered or for the rivers that were running under that land to escape. As a result, they have created a lake. I guess that is to enhance tourism. But it is the most secretive. How come he didn't explain the $6 billion that is outside of the country, outside of the consolidated fund? He has up yet to this day to explain to the people of Dominica how is it that the government of Dominica, the state, has an account in Dubai that the financial secretary knows nothing about, the accountant general knows nothing about, the director of audit knows nothing about it, but he talks about transparency. I don't know how people can allow this man to be destroying Dominica and talking about democracy. Man, you know, sometimes we don't like me to draw the parallel. Anytime you hear these wannabe dictators want to take control, they talk about democracy, democracy. Okay? Dominica is a republic. Okay? That is why people like Skerrit uses the democratic process that we have to destroy the systems of governance that exist so he can become a dictator, twin the Dominica Labour Party with the Chinese Communist Party, follow all its precepts and things. And then he tells people that Dominican loving citizens and patriots who raise questions. Man, the same thing is happening in America this day. Patriots cannot raise questions about what is going on with their governance map. In Dominica, Anthony Hayden, a Lebanese, his real name is maybe Abdullah Mohammed or Mohammed Abdullah, but he goes by Anthony Hayden, controls 6.5 billion EC dollars belonging to Dominica, not the government and people of Dominica. So this is the sort of thing. And then the hypocrisy talking about democracy, the threat to democracy and all this kind of stupidness. Democracy is the means that the dictators use to get to power, and then they destroy the institutions that adhere to what they term to be democracy. And Matt, Matt, I don't know about anybody else, but I am tired of listening to this nonsense from Skerritt. I don't know about anybody else, Matt, but I am angry. And Dominicans need to get angry. And we need to revisit the constitutional Kulwash Brigade that everybody is afraid to talk about and run away from. It was Anthony Astafan who said it was a constitutional Kulwash Brigade. That means it was legal. It was part of the Constitution. So I don't know how people shying away from it. Put it back on the table and see how fast Skerritt is going to give you all electoral reform and stop those lies. Good morning, Matt. Thank you. Have a good day.
I'm gonna wrap up this discussion this morning with Mr. Shastny again from St. Lucia.
Let's not mistake what is taking place with CIP. Blatant corruption. And can you imagine that a sitting prime minister of Dominica, a country that has lost its visas to England, has lost its visas to Ireland, that has become a laughing stock in the world would find himself on Richard Dedrick's show. But it's a saying, birds of a feather flock together. A picture paints 1,000 words. But tell Scary, I will tell Scary, the same thing that Sir John Compton told Ralph Gonzalez in 2006. When Ralph
It's getting hotter by the minute here. And it's 2 minutes after 11. In the meantime, in between time until 12 o'clock news time.
Don't tell me it's not worth trying for. You can't tell me it's not worth dying for. You know it's true. Everything I do it for you. Look into your heart, you will find nothing there to hide. Take me as I am, take my life. I would give it all, I would sacrifice. Don't tell me it's not worth fighting for. Can't help it, it's nothing I want more. You know it's true. Everything I do it for you. Oh, yeah. There's no love. Could give more love. There's no unless you're all the time, all the way. Yeah. Oh, you can't tell me it's not worth trying for. I can't help it, there's nothing I want more. Yeah, for you, for you, walk away for you. Yeah, I die for you. You know it's true. Everything I do, do it for you. Everything I do, does. Everything I do, Talking away. I don't know what to say. I'll say it anyway. Today is another day to find you shying away. Oh, I'm coming for your love, okay? Take on me. Take on me. Take me. I'll be gone. It's telling me less to say. I want to send it, but I'll be stumbling away. Slowly learning that life is okay. Say after me, it's better to be safe than sorry. Take on me, take on me, take me, take on me. I'll be gone. All the things that you say, yeah, is it liable just to play my worries away? You're all the things I've got to remember. You're shying away. I'll be coming for you anyway. Take on me. Take on me. Take me. Take on me. And they're moving across the page. Suddenly the day turns into night. Far away from the city, but don't